And we've got some information that is going to help a lot of folks that might be W-2'd out there. So how many of you out there are W-2 employees, or you know someone that needs to hear this? Because this is the time to share this video. Like it, share it, share it, share it, share it. All right. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Hey, Mark. All right, look, we're not going to be on here too long. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was in attendance. If you can hear me, Kevin, if you can hear me at least, send up the number 1 so I can make sure that I'm flowing pretty good. Like a boss, like a boss, like a boss. W-2 girl, all right, good. All right, my W-2 girls. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, throw a 1 up so I can make sure before I flow into all this good stuff that we are audible. Let me know, let me know, let me know. We can get things rolling. Good evening, everyone. I am Lorie Woodruff. For those that may not know who I am, real estate entrepreneur, success coach, and making sure that you get the unleashed. Oh, I'm losing my voice again. Unleashing all opportunities that you can get. All right. So that means financially, that means through real estate, and anything possible that's attached to leveling you up to the next level. So just making sure, can you guys hear me okay before we start moving forward? Give me a 1, give me a 1. Make sure I can hear you. Guys, it's Sunday. I know you have eaten already, but I can't move forward until I see a number 1 in the box. Come on. Come on. Hi, Liz. 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. Trina, can you hear me okay? Sound check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So again, I wanted to introduce the information that we're going to be talking about today. I've been working in, appreciate you guys. I've been working in real estate for 19 years. 19 years. And what happens in that time period is that I'm helping people get into doors and get out of doors of properties, find real estate investment properties, help them improve their credit so they can make the right decisions on budgeting. And what's been happening is that there's certain conversations that come up that we need to work on. And this is the reason why I really wanted to do this webinar tonight. We're going to be on here for about 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So if you can't stay the entire time, it will be replayed for those we are broadcasting on webinar. So for those that registered already for the webinar, you'll be able to get the 2 pieces of information that I'm going to share on here, the video, and make sure that you are consulting with me afterwards, any follow-up questions. The questions that come up, ladies and gentlemen, when we're looking to purchase a home or even lease a property, when it comes to, all right, how much money are you making? Where do you want to live? And then a question also comes up is how much money have you saved to purchase your home? And that's when some people pause. And, there's no judgment area because we always have to start somewhere, right? We got to start somewhere. We just can't, everybody, I'm just telling you, my clients don't just come in and just say, well, I've got 50,000 in this account and 12,000 in this account. It don't work that way. So I have clients that are just starting from the beginning. And the one thing they say is, I don't have enough money for X. And X could be anything. It could be, I don't have enough money for the rent. I don't have enough money for the down payment. I don't have enough money to qualify to pay off some debt. So that's why we're really going to attack some of the things today to go into some solutions. Okay. So if that's going to be okay with you, sit back, relax, because there's going to be quite a few things on here that may be brand new to you that are brought to your attention. I'm not just opening doors for people as far as real estate is concerned. Much of my conversations when I am coaching everyday individuals and small business owners is accountability. And what do I need to do to get to that next level of financial freedom? That's it. And I have a coach as well, so I can't have these conversations just with myself. So you've got to make sure that you are connected to someone who's already been there on what you're doing, and also to make sure that you are running the play. You got to do the work too. You got to run the play. So I apologize in advance because I may say some cuss words, not curse words. I may say some cuss words, okay? Because I do keep it pretty real. So for those that are perfect patties out there, I'm not even going to apologize in advance, but this is a real conversation. It's hopefully the children are already asleep, and you guys have heard a cuss word before. So we're going to get things started. Much of the discussion is going to be anything that you can start tonight, and you can also start it tomorrow. You can also start this tomorrow. So anybody out there that is looking to see how long is this going to take? Well, it's going to take as long as you can finish this webinar, and as long as you can finish the information, that's going to get you what you need. Okay, so it's until you finish. It's until you finish. All right. Put your credit cards away. Nothing is being sold. I just wanted to make sure that you are getting valuable information. A lot of people are in the space right now of getting their tax returns back, right? You're getting your tax returns back, and you might be thinking, what the hell am I going to do with all this money? I am so rich now. What am I going to do with all this money? You all understand that when you are a W-2 employee, you are paying the most in taxes. Okay, you all knew that, right? You're a W. There's nothing wrong with you. Gotta. It's fine. Get the job. Keep the job. But you understand that you are making money, but you are also giving the government the most amount of money every single pay period, and it depends how many allowances you are saying you want the government to reduce your taxes by. So I want you to think about this. 80% of the population is doing something incorrect with their taxes. They're doing something as far as the filing is concerned. It's wrong. And I wanted to help you. So if you haven't shared the video right now, I appreciate it, because this is a big deal, especially right now as we're entering into you guys getting mail. All right, guys getting that direct deposit, you refreshing your Navy Federal checking. Oh, it's not there yet. Okay, Tuesday it might be there. What are you going to do with that money? And I want to give you the cycle of how you got that money in the first place. That is incorrect. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Let's go on a journey of lending money. If I lent you $1,000 let's just say I borrowed $1,000 each month. Each month I'm borrowing $1,000 for 12 months. It's $12,000, right? Somebody lent me $12,000. Now, if that money is going out the door for that time period, you got to figure out, how am I going to repay this money back? And if I'm repaying this money back, do I need to pay it back? All right. The government is borrowing your money every month, every pay period. And no matter how much you get paid, whether it's $1,000, $10,000, $30,000, or $300,000, if you are an employee, you are lending the government your money every single pay period. Now, when it comes time, it's up to you. When you figure out, there's a form called a W-4 form, and if you fill that out correctly, then you should be balancing out your taxes just fine. And I'm going to show you that form, which has changed for this year. Welcome, Nathaniel. Hello. And when you lend your money out, don't you want it back? Now, if you let $12,000 out, don't you want it back with some interest? Well, the government doesn't do that. So if they've been taking money out of your check every single pay period, wouldn't you want that money back? Yes or yes? You'd want it back with some interest. You want some friends with it. You want some friends with it. That doesn't happen. All right. The government takes the money, and what happens is they use that for whatever things. We're not going to have a political conversation, but we're going to go into how do you get that money back? So I want you to revisit the W-4 form that you filled out when you got your job, or when you really had to make some changes to it. Hey, Carl. Thank you. Yes, the flu did not get me down. When you sent that form, typically most people get that when you're filling out a job application. You get it, you're excited, you're filling out all this daggone paperwork, and you have no idea. And this copy of a copy of a copy called the W-4 form gets in front of your face. And you're like, what the heck is this? I don't know how to fill this out. And you fill it out, and when you get to a certain area where it says allowances, how many allowances do you want the federal government to withhold? You think about individuals in your household. How many people of you out there have actually filled it out and thought, how many people are in my household, or how many are on my taxes am I claiming? Because when I first had a job years ago, I was thinking that. So I always claimed one. All right? The employer did not ask you, do you have a business? Are you married? Do you have any children? They didn't ask you, any of those kinds of questions. They really don't even know how much money you're really making. But they gave you the form, you filled it out the best you could, and you gave it back to them, and you just went on your way. This is what we're going to do today, is we're going to revisit that form, because you could be paying the government too much money. All right? So I want you to make sure that you are going over. And for those that have already registered, I thank you very much in advance. For those that have already registered for the webinar, I will make sure that you get the links to everything that we are talking about today. Today. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to jump over to a website from the good old government. And it's an IRS form, W-4 form, that I want you to take a look into. This right here is going to save your butt. Because if you fill it out correctly, tomorrow you will be able to start saving some money. So remember, as I shared with you, if you filled out the number 1 and you were a single person, okay, cool. All right, but what the least amount of allowances that you put on your W-4 form, they take out the most taxes. All right, the higher that number goes, and most of you, you probably know this, but I want to give you some ideas of what's going to trigger it the right way so that you can start bringing home more money. irs.gov/W4 app. You want to take that site down, irs.gov/W4 app, APP. Here, what you're going to do is go, and first of all, you're going to look for the W-4 form, which has changed over the years, okay? It's a little bit different. Now, the allowances that you used to put on your 19 and 18 and in prior years, that number could be, it could be 5, it could be 6. For me, when I had a job, it was 33. It was the number 33. Now, that didn't mean I had 33 people that I was claiming on my taxes. It's the allowances of what I can use because I have a business. All right. Now, for those that have children, that are married, business, home, anytime those change in your personal space, make sure that you are revisiting this W-4 form, because you can do it. And on this W-4 form, if you pay attention to the instructions, the purpose of this form is so your employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Completing a new one when changes to your personal or financial situation changes, you need to do that as many times. So if you get married tomorrow, then you need to revisit this. If you get divorced tomorrow, get this damn form, okay? So go to the IRS site and make sure that you are looking for the 2020 W-4 form. I hope you guys are taking notes, because I'm trying to save you money like tonight, so that you can start bringing home more money. All right, because a lot of the things that we want to do in 2020, doesn't it require money? Doesn't it require some kind of investments into something? And you can't keep saying, I don't have it. Yes, you do. You're just giving it away to the wrong people. You're just giving it away to the wrong people. So you have it. You got the money. So let's go back to this form, 2020. Every time you fill this out, take your time. Take your time. Do not rush through here. All right, Trina. If you've got this form, open up your laptop when you finish up with me about 9 o'clock and you get busy. Finish, first of all, step 1, go through your personal information. Y'all got this. Section C is going to be, are you single? Are you married? Are you married filing jointly? Head of household simply means you are unmarried and you probably have at least one dependent, one qualifying individual. Ladies, I know you, or fellas, you can't put head of household if it's just you. I know it feels good to put that in there, but no. Head of household is only if you are unmarried and paying more than half of the cost of one qualifying individual. When in doubt, they've got the definition right on the second page. All right? So that you can know who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. Section 2, if you have multiple jobs or a spouse, you're going to fill this out. What you want to have is your income information from last year, or kind of have a projected number of what monies that you're going to make for this year. So keep a pay stub in front of you when you're about to complete this. All right, so we're good so far? We're good? Let's get into the good stuff now. Now, this form is simple. They've simplified this version so that going forward, it's clear. It's a little bit more transparent for everyday people like us. So it's not too difficult. So that's why I said just take your time. Don't overdo it. Step 3, if you've got children, then you'll only fill in that section. Don't claim the dog. Don't do it. You can't claim the bear that's on your bed. Don't claim people that are not yours. We're not falsifying any documents. What we're doing here is demanding the correct way to get your money back on your pay stub. And I'm going to show you a sample of what that looks like. Thank you guys for joining in. Grateful for seeing everybody. If you have not already shared this video, please bless somebody with this so that they can make sure that they are doing this tonight as well. Now, section 4, where it says step 4, if you own property, if you have a business, this is the area, deductions, that you're going to pay attention to. So section 4 says if you have other income, not from jobs, other income. If you want taxes withheld, then you're going to put something in 4A. Just read it. It's not hard. Now, 4B says if you expect to claim deductions, there's a deduction worksheet, which I'm about to show you. So if you got rental property, if you're self-employed, if you itemize your deductions, then you're going to fill 4B out. Section C says if you want extra withholdings, you want the government to hold a little bit more, then you're going to put this section in. I'm not a tax preparer, but I can send you to a tax preparer that actually does my taxes and got me hip to a lot of this stuff. And that's it. That's everything that's on this form. Now, when you go, understand, anytime that you go for a job interview, I need you to make sure, if you get one in this year, there are more forms. There's 4 pages to this W-4. All right, you've got to know that. It's not just the front form. So you keep going. It gives you detailed information of how to fill it out. If you've got multiple jobs, here's a worksheet here. And the last part here is a deduction worksheet. Remember, if you've got a property, if you've got a mortgage, you need to fill this part out. Because remember, 4B goes back here. You can put it in this section right here. You're putting in dollar amounts. Now on the 2020 form, you're not putting in 1, 2, 3. You're not putting in those kind of digits. What you're doing is you're putting in dollar amounts. So 2020 and going beyond, they've done a little bit different with the government where they simplify the form. All right, this is going to show you here how you can reduce your figures. And I'm going to show you what that looks like for an example. Here's an example. Give me an example, Trina, give me a salary out here that somebody might be making per year. Just throw an annual salary at me so I can put it in here just to calculate what somebody could be looking at. Per year, I'll put in here, give me a salary, give me a salary. Because I want you to see what this looks like and how much money you're actually giving the government. I want you to see that, because when people ask me, I don't know where I'm going to get my down payment from. I don't know where I'm going to get this money from in order to, I don't know where I'm going to get the this money from, to start the foreign exchange trading. As I say, you have it. We make great money around the Beltway. It's just, what the hell are we doing with it, and who are we giving it to? All right, so here we go. So Trina, let's put in an example of $92,000 per year is someone's salary. Now, if you didn't know any better, you got the W-4 form when you got the job. Maybe it was a couple years ago. Hell, maybe it was a week ago you got the job. And let's just say it's just you. It's a single person, and you just put in 1 for your federal allowance. So over here on the left-hand side, we just put in 1. So I'm putting in 1 for federal, 1 for state. 30% of your income is going towards taxes, ladies and gentlemen. 30%, 30%. That's what I'm saying. What else are you doing to bring in additional income? It's super important. If you just have a W-2 position, it's suicidal. It's very difficult, because you're giving the government a lot of money unless you have a business, unless you are investing the monies that you do make into something else. All right. So here we go. Let's say you get paid twice a month. Twice a month. So $92,000. We're not even counting any overtime or nothing like that. Here we go. Taxes, 30%, roughly about 30%. Your take-home pay, gross, is about $38.33. Once you take out taxes, you're at about $2,600, $2,677 every 2 weeks. Okay? If you take a look at increasing this number, let's say you went up to 7. Things are going to change. Now, we were first at $3,800. Now, if you notice, the taxes start to reduce. Now your take-home pay went up about $300 automatically. Now you can see how you can give yourself an automatic pay raise just by increasing your allowances. Legally, y'all, don't be putting stuff in there. It's just, we put in 33. I put in 33 on mine because that's what my calculation worksheet gave me. All right? Because I have a business, and that's what it came up to be. All right? Everybody's situation is different. You might not have that. You might have rental property. You might be divorced. You might be paying alimony. I don't know. You might be having different scenarios. But one thing you need to do is go and figure out, or you can go to this website. It's free, smartasset.com. Smartasset.com, and plug these numbers in. As I know, Terrence, you've got one too. 140. We'll plug that in a second. So if you're doing that, now that's $300 per pay. Now $600 per month that you are now bringing in extra every single month. That's just based off of $92,000. So your taxes will not be so large. And what you're doing is you're telling the government, by filling out the W-4 form correctly, what you're saying is, yo, I need my money all year because I need to invest it in things that I need to do. I might need to pay some things off. I might need to invest in whatever I want, and I need that money now. So just imagine if you had three Three millionaires come up to you. Three millionaires come up to you, and one of them is Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki comes up to you in January and says, look, Phil, Trina, I got an opportunity for us, and it's going to require a $300 investment. Just make one up. It's a $300 investment. But because you haven't done your taxes yet, you're waiting on your direct deposit to come in from the IRS. So you're waiting. You're like, you know what? I'd like to, Robert, but I got to wait until I get my taxes back. I can't invest with you, Robert Kiyosaki, because I don't have my money back yet. I just don't have it. He's gonna look at you like, well, what you been doing all year with your damn money? I mean, I don't know. I'm waiting on my money. I should be coming back real soon. You should, like April, any day now. I'm getting my direct deposit. He's gonna look at you like you're crazy, and he's like, look, this is the reason why the wealthy get where they are, and this is where the poor stay where they are. Now, I'm not saying poor as far as financially, passing over opportunities repeatedly. If you are in that quadrant where an opportunity comes your way and you know it sounds so good, it sounds so juicy, but you're like, I ain't got it. I don't have it. So now let's just say the second millionaire comes up to you and says, look, we are getting a group of investors together, and we need $300, from each of us to invest into this large project. You're going to get a 30% return. Boom. Are you in? Yeah, I wish I could, but I'm waiting on my taxes to come back. Big lump sum. I'm about to get a TV. Then maybe I can go ahead and invest in this. You're going to be like, what have you been doing with your money all year round? So when opportunities come your way, you can't participate. Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna do my credit repair, and I'm gonna do all that in April when I get my money. You guys have to be more financially sound. When opportunities come your way and you know they make sense for you to make more money, this is the time where you have to already have that money in the bank. You got to have that shit already in the bank. Okay? So you got to be ready. Next millionaire comes up to you and says, listen, we've got some cryptocurrency, and we know about Forex. That's going to be, just moving every single day. You're going to be able to get involved with it. Are you in or are you out? It's $300. Well, as soon as my taxes come in, I'm definitely in. Again, there's no need for us to wait until the last minute. This example right here just showed someone who's making $92,000 a year. If they properly did their allowances, they could afford themselves another $600 a month. Now, we can put in different amounts, but I want to keep things going. You can go to smartasset.com, throw your own salary in there, and you'll be able to see for yourself what it is. Now, I put in 33. I was working with the state a couple years ago, and I did 33 for my exemptions. When that amount, $3,800, is your gross check. When you are almost 10 to 15% within your gross amount, you're doing great. Now, this particular individual is $3,200 net every 2 weeks. So before, I think, what were we doing before? We were doing what, 26? Was it 26 or something like that? I can't remember. Either way, you were giving the government too much money. I'm showing and sharing with you by properly fixing your W-4 form, which is free. You'll be able to get your money more throughout the year. That's when you need the money most for opportunities. That's when you need it most to invest. All right. So there should be none of that when we're talking on the phone about, well, I don't have it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Let's take a look and see how much money are we spending on food. And that's another thing. We're going to look at a budget next. So the budget is the second way we're going to talk about next. But let's jump over for a second, because I want you guys to see something which I think was probably the most instrumental way for me to move ahead with money. Like money was not something that I was like, oh, I'm falling in love with all parts of a budget and I know everything that I'm supposed to do with money. I was not, and it takes times when you got to go down in life, talk to the right people, and then come right back up, because the right people, you've got to be surrounded by people who are doing better than you in money. Not that I'm saying that they're better people than you, but are they doing better in where you are? Because we can't do this by ourselves. This graph right here clearly shows what it's going to take to get to the next level. Most people are working for someone. So 60% of the population is paying what we just looked at, about 30% in taxes. You pay the most. 35% of the population is going to be working for for yourself, like real estate agents, financial planners, Uber drivers, doctors, lawyers, those that considered working for someone, but they said, nah, I want to work for me. Okay? 95% of the population is typically paying between 18 to 30% in taxes. There is a way that you can start to reduce that, but you need to have a business. You need to have a business. All right? I don't have employees. I don't have a building that I pay rent, and you don't neither. But you need to shelter yourself so that you can have an LLC so that you can be able to write off your cell phone. You'll be able to write off the cord, supplies that you need for your business, the keyboard, the real estate software, or whatever subscriptions that you need. Now, hair, nails, all of that, because you need that for seminars, right? You'll be able to write a lot of these things off. So the 1 to 4%ers, guys, that's the part where if an opportunity comes up, those are the individuals who have already known it takes money to make money. It takes money to make money. So we can't sit here and say, well, I'll wait for my taxes. Why weren't you getting your taxes all year long? Trina, what's your question? So how many allowances you can put in without owing on your next taxes? All of us owe taxes. We all owe taxes. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or you work for someone. We all owe. It's just the amount of taxes that we owe. So I don't want to go too deep into a tax professional's question, but you may want to talk to a tax professional to see how high you can go. But that worksheet that I gave you, the irs.gov/W4 app, you fill that out, Trina. You fill that out, and it will spit out the numbers that you need to put on your W4 form. I promise you. I went through it right before this webinar. So if you go to that website, irs.gov/W4 app, you're going to be able to go through all of the steps to legally be able to get the right numbers to plug in for your W4 form. Okay? So it's going to give you all the figures that you need. What we want to figure out, you're welcome. What we want to figure out is that money that we're now getting every single month, what the hell do we do with it? I have seen people, depending on their salary, I've seen people get as much as $1,700 back on their payroll. So now, instead of you waiting, just like I gave you the example in the beginning, if you're lending the government money and around this time they just give you a portion of that back with no interest, what kind of setup is that? What kind of setup is that? All right, where you could have been using that money all year long and you could have been investing it into something of your own. All right, you could have been putting it into something that could increase. You could have opened up an insurance policy, talked to a financial planner. You could have participated in some financial ventures. All right, you could have opened up, if you go to Cash App on your phone, you guys, you can get stocks, you can get Bitcoin, you can invest $100 per pay or whatever you want per pay just by your phone. I put in $50, maybe 4 weeks ago into Bitcoin. It has now toppled over $10,000. So what that means is the amount of money that I did invest, it's just going to keep going up and up as Bitcoin keeps increasing in price. So you could do something like that. You know, I'm working with a group of investors that invest in the Forex market. We make money every single day. Every single day, profits are made. If you could learn to move that $100 or $200 into the market, wouldn't you see some kind of increase every single week? So I ask you again, why are we giving the government money without any kind of repayment or interest requirement? Take your money back. So if you're giving the government, let's say $12,000 all throughout the year, and you're now getting it throughout the year, no, you're not going to get that lump sum of money. You're not going to get that lump sum of money. You don't want that lump sum of money. You want to be able to get that money and divide it out through your pay periods throughout the year. Yes? Does that make sense? Summer, Trina, Erica? All right, just trying to get some money back in the pockets. All right, so I'm not shifting you towards what you do with that money. I just want to let you know you've got the money. Don't keep giving it to the government every pay period, and be careful that you might be paying too much in your allowances. So here's the second way. All right, here's the second way. Now, every time I sit down with a first-time home buyer or someone selling their house, we go over a budget. We go over a budget. And I'm going to say this is the most uncomfortable yet fulfilling form that you want to fill out. So I just showed you one way to get money so that you can do what you need to do in your household. All right. And this is going to be a second way. The budget is something that you want to be sure that you're revisiting anytime something changes. You have to be stupid selfish with your money. Just because you have it does not mean you need to send it out. You don't need to spend it every time it comes in. You need to start thinking, what would a wealthy person do? Rather than, what will my old self do? Because the old self is like, well, I got $20. I'm going to go get an outfit for $19.99. I'm going to get something for $19.99. If you got $200 that's coming in from a bonus or, a oops check, boom, I'm going out shopping. Wealthy individuals invest that to make more money. So at $200, you think, I could have got that to get an outfit, but if I waited and invested it, I could have invested it and bought a nicer outfit and still got some interest capital on top of that. But that's a whole nother story. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Here's the budget. Again, guys, I welcome everybody that is on the line. If you haven't already, make sure that you are liking and sharing this video. For those that are already on the webinar, we are streaming live. We've got this broadcasted also for the webinar folks. So make sure those that are already registered, you will get the links for the W-4 form. You'll also get the budget, and you also get the last video that we're going to talk about. All right, so let's finish up. The second way that you can start saving money is to actually be real with your expenses. So let's take a look at the different, I put letters next to the areas where you want to fill in. Get uncomfortable if you're supposed to. What's up, Sharon? All right, section A is that gross income. That's that make-believe money that we never see. The gross income is before any taxes. When you get your employment letter, you're like, ooh, I'm making $120,000. Great. But in actuality, what happens is there's some deductions that take place. 30% is going out for taxes. 30% of that beautiful salary is going out for debt, such as where you're going to live. Okay. And the other 30% going out the door is simply for big businesses. Every single month, if you pay attention to the Target or Walmart or the stores out there, every single month there is a holiday of some sort tugging at our wallets. Valentine's Day is coming up, so that urges men and women to go out to buy something, dinner, candy, whatever. when you look at every single month, March, you've got March Madness going on, all right? April, Mother's Day is coming up. Cool, bye Trina. May, you've got Memorial Day, Mother's Day. June, you've got Father's Day. Summer's kicking off. July, barbecue time for 4th of July. August, you've got children going back to school. September, Labor Day. October, you better get your costume ready because now you are getting ready for Halloween. November, you've got Thanksgiving. And December, you got all of different holidays. Christmas, Hanukkah, you've got a lot of different holidays going on. And then January, you start the year off with New Year's. So every single month, if you really pay attention, there's something tugging at our wallets. So between taxes, debt, and big businesses, that's about 90% of somebody's income. What we're truly living off of is 10% of our income. No matter how much your gross is, think 10% is what you're really being able to play with. This is the reason why the conversation of money comes up on, I don't have it. Well, you have it, but what have you been doing with what you do have to multiply and make more of it? So if someone is making $100,000 a year, 90% of that is going out the door just to live. And $10,000 is what you basically have to rock with. This is the reason why we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Thanks, guys. So these numbers are different. So the gross number is going to be your gross number. Mortgage companies qualify you on this. It's a fake number. Car companies qualify you on this fake number but you really don't see this number. You don't see $100,000. All right. So let's look at B, because that's the real number that you bring home. The take home pay. All right. Let's go down to section C. Once you start putting in all your expenses, your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, student loans, credit cards, any other home equity loans that you may have, you total that up. You total that up, right? The next column, look over at D. Phone, cable, internet, gas, electric, cell phone. Be honest with yourself and throw a number in there on what you pay on a monthly basis. This is where you can actually see where your spending habits are going whack. This is where you can now be stingy and say, look, Verizon, AT&T, I'm about to walk and leave. I'm noticing that my cell phone bill is a little bit over $100 whatever dollar, and I can get a better rate somewhere else. What can you do? You want to do that with your car insurance. You want to do that with cable. You want to do that with everybody that you make payments to, and find out, what can I do to get a lower payment? To keep my business, y'all, what do I need to do to stay with here? The main column that's going to hurt the most for a lot of single people looking into buying a home or renting a home that I see is that recreation, dining out, and that personal expenses, the hobbies, the extra things that we do. All of those things start to add up. So if you add up D, you've got all your expenses added up. You've got C in there. You're going to come down to E. You're going to come down to the E, and you're going to total up what your total take-home pay is, and you're going to subtract out what your debt is. Sometimes that number is negative. Sometimes that difference is zero. And this is when we have this conversation of what can you do to reduce your expenses? Because it's super important for everyone to understand that you have the money, but you're just giving it to someone else. Just like that, all right? So what I'm going to do is shift things a little bit different. And I'm going to stop sharing here. If you need a copy of this budget, if you need to get back with the website, smartasset.com, so you can put in your income, you can come over here and play with the allowances yourself. But this right here in the middle is going to give you what your gross paycheck is, and your estimated taxes are going to be right here. Federal, local, state, all of that's going to be here. And then of course you got to pay Social Security as well. So all of that's going to be already deducted for you. The higher the allowances, the more money that you get to bring home. Tomorrow, what I really want you to do is do that for yourself. I need you to do your own pay raise. You need to give yourself a pay raise. And these two ways are free ways that you can give yourself a pay raise. Now you're moving and shifting things from, all right, well, I've found almost $500, maybe $700, maybe $1,000 extra every month that my employer is giving me. Now you want to talk to someone. You've got to talk to someone about, I can't spend this money. I can't spend this money. Lorie showed me, I found it. I can't spend it on something stupid. What am I going to do with this? Am I going to put it in real estate? Am I going to joint venture on some deals so I can make more money? I have some investors who are paying almost 18 to 30% on money that you already have. Do you have that in a 401k that's just sitting there doing nothing? Let's talk about it. I have investors who are paying up to 30% on your money, and all you have to do is invest it. Are you ready for that? Forex is a way. I did this. I started this 2.5 years ago. I had to do this because I was not in a position where I was working a W-2 job. I wasn't. So everything I'm making is commission only. So if I'm making only commission, I have to be able to make money when real estate is not doing anything. Let's just say I don't have a sale going on until February 28th. Let's say I don't have a settlement going on until February 28th. What the hell am I supposed to do until then? The investments that I made into the Forex market and Bitcoin is going to allow those weeks to go by without interruption. What are you doing with the money that you're bringing in so that you can have money throughout the weeks, the years, and future to come? Because as I go back and say, the government, they don't care about you. They don't care about us. We have to create our own economy. And if they are taking money and giving you a portion of it back without interest, that money is typically gone in a matter of days. When you get it back, don't lie, when you get that money back, you probably spend it so fast because you've been waiting all year for it. I want you to think bigger, and I want you to think, you know what, if I were even just to invest $300 a month in this insurance policy, I will be able to see a way that I could put down a bigger down payment on my house, 20% instead of just the minimum 3% or 5%. I'll be able to pay cash for that house. I'll be able to pay cash for that car. I'll be able to take care of my baby girl or my baby boy's tuition in full. I'll be able to invest in the Forex market like Lorie's talking. To work with our group is only $235. That's it. And people are using that money to learn how to make more money. That's it. In a simple way. In a simple way. We're busy. I know we have time and we don't have a lot of time. Time is not on our side when you just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Is your family protected? Are you protected? Are you getting the things that you really want without saying, I don't have it? You should not let anyone off the hook by saying that after they've seen this webinar. So what I'm going to do is finish up by playing 4 minutes of what we do to invest. 4 minutes of how we invest money in the Forex market. So for those that want to get more information about that, come on over. We have fun. Like when you are making money, nobody's mad. Nobody's upset. But what I want you to do is open up the possibilities to know that you can do it. It doesn't require a lot of time, and I promise you, you don't need to be in front of the computer a whole lot. So I'm going to let you watch this, and then we'll finish up, and I'll make sure that you guys get everything necessary as follow-ups in the chat box.
What if you could take advantage of the largest financial market in the world? Well, now you can. Welcome to the foreign exchange market known as Forex, which does, according to a recent statistic from Bloomberg, over $6 trillion per day. Can you believe that? $6 trillion. That is longer than your phone number with the area code included. Crazy.
Hold on, guys. Let me make sure y'all can hear it.
Let's say I leave the United States and go to Germany.
All right, let's start you
known as Forex, which does, according to a recent statistic from Bloomberg, over $6 trillion per day. Can you believe that? $6 trillion. That is longer than your phone number with the area code included. Crazy. So if that's the case, what does that mean to you, and how can you capitalize on it to your benefit? Well, essentially, how can you get your piece of the pie? Well, first, you need to understand how currency trading works. Let's say I leave the United States and go to Germany. When I get to Germany, in order to make purchases, I have to exchange my US dollars for the euros, which is what they would use in Germany. If I then go back from Germany to Mexico, I then have to exchange my euros for the peso. This, in its simplest form, is how foreign currency works. The value of the currency of each country changes all day long, 24 hours per day. This means the money you exchange could actually be valued higher by the time you exchange it back for your original US dollars. But here's the problem. Most people don't have the time or money to travel around the world exchanging money. So we've made it easy. You can trade the currencies right from your phone or computer, and through the following strategies that we have put together, you have the opportunity to make money all day as much as you want. Sound too good to be true? Well, let me show you how it works. First, we teach and educate you through our Go Live sessions on how to trade both Forex and digital currency from over 100 plus educators all throughout the day and night and in multiple languages. I Am Mastery Academy is the #1 exchange market education platform in the world. This means you can plug in, day night, part-time or full-time, and learn how to trade in the largest financial market in the world. Now, not sure how to trade but want to capitalize on being able to see results right away, yet without guarantees? No sweat. Welcome to our copy and paste trading apps, where some of our top educators send trade ideas right to your phone from research they themselves have done. This means you can simply copy the exact trades that they themselves are taking. Incredible, isn't it? So you're probably wondering, okay, Brandon, this sounds great, but how much is this going to cost me, and how much time do I have to put into it? It's a great question, and here's the simple answer. As far as time, as little, as much as you want. If you want to copy and paste our trade ideas, it will take you about 5 to 10 minutes per day, and it's 100% worth it. As far as cost, I recommend starting with the Platinum Forex Mastery Package, which is a one-time fee of $234.95 with no contract. The monthly is $174.95, and it's month to month. What's awesome is you can get rid of that in 2 ways. Number one, you can refer customers, 2 of them, and you can get it for free. Or number 2, simply make more money trading than you pay on the package price. And here's the amazing thing. I Am Mastery Academy has a 7-day money-back guarantee. So if you decide that this is just not for you, no sweat. Simply contact the company and cancel your subscription. And remember, you are not investing in the company. You are investing into yourself and your future. If you don't have money working for you and you're only working for money, you're in trouble. If you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will probably work until you die. My rules are simple. Make money, use the money to make money, then repeat the process. Remember, those who are well off don't work for money. Money works for them. So get back to the person who shared this video with you and enroll now.
All right, guys, we are done. Ladies, this was the opportunity for you to get in front of money. All right. So it should not be any more I don't have it conversations going this year. If we are talking, if you say that out your mouth, I want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to get so uncomfortable with saying that and understand and remember this. You have the opportunity to do that. All right. The one thing I remember in that video is that he said is 3 things. You're going to make money. You're going to use that money to multiply and make more and repeat. Make the money, no matter how much you're making. Stop thinking you got to make a whole fluffy amount of money. Any amount of money that you're making, do not give it all to the government. Use what you have. Take a portion of that money that you are left with during the month. Let's talk about it one-on-one, and then invest it. Invest it into something that's going to allow you to see more of it later. Because if we're just going to stay part of the 95%, they stay in fear. They stay in doubt, and they typically won't make any investment moves. This is the reason why that 1 to 4 to 5% of the population stay wealthy. They understand the concept of make money, multiply that money, and repeat it over and over again. If somebody was making $20,000 a year, that could be their salary, but they could be stacked with investment in options simply because they used a portion of that money to make more of it. So if you'd like to talk more about the sheets, the W-4 forms, the budget form, talk with me one-on-one about Forex and how that's been helping a lot of people multiply and make more of it. I'm going to drop all that information into the chat line, and you guys have an amazing money month. It should be so amazing you can't stand yourself. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tomorrow I will have a webinar just on the Forex opportunity. So if anybody is interested in that, I'm going to be sending that out to a select group of people. So if you did want to get onto that webinar and get some more information about that, make sure you're chiming in and let me know that you want to get some information on that, because this could be the conversation that changes everything. You guys have a great day. Lorie Woodruff signing out. Have a great one.